Everyone, AJ here, back with another SwiftUI for Newbies episode. We just got done kind of diving into frames. Before that, shadows. These are all modifiers. Before that, we touched on horizontal stacks, vertical stacks, Z stacks. Go check out those videos. Definitely going to help you understand more about SwiftUI. Again, these episodes are supposed to be very easy to pick up and very easy to learn. They're not very in depth. My goal is to kind of help ease people into this, and then maybe just dive into my more advanced episodes, which are, replicating dribble designs. I find we also have, working with animation as well in SwiftUI. But in this episode, we're going to focus on padding. What the heck is padding? When do we use it? And what are some good rules about padding? So for one, padding is a modifier. So you can add this strictly to mostly anything. Padding, just like this, means that it's going to give about 16 pixels on each side, all around. Not, I lied. I think it's maybe like 15 on the top, and bottom, and like 10 on the side, or I believe it's 15 overall. To be honest, I think it's 15 overall. I'm almost positive 15 overall. But if we want to get even more, linear about it, or dive deeper into padding, you can also focus on a specific side, multiple directions. So what we can do here, we can do dot horizontal, and what that means is both sides, not just vertical. So just both sides, and then we can just change it again, vertical, and it would do top. So you see, I will actually also do a background so you guys can see this better. See if I can make this like black and do a foreground of that white. Okay, so if you do this, you're gonna see it's gonna space out. You know what I mean? So, and then if we take this all away, you're gonna see, cool. And then you can also do leading, which is from the left 20, right? You can do trailing, which is from the right 20. This is definitely a powerful modifier. So we're actually going to get rid of these, and I'm going to show you, some pretty good rules when it comes to designing, creating designs. So we're going to create a basic header component. This is something that you can maybe, continue to use on multiple pages at the top for different titles. There is navigation view. There is thing with navigation view that you can use to like add navigation titles, which is a whole other thing that we can definitely dive into with these courses. But just for now, we can keep it super simple and build a very simple header component that doesn't involve navigation views and navigation titles. That is, the benefits of those is that it's strictly built into iOS, and it's how Apple kind of communicates, and it automatically integrates a bunch of transitions for you. And it's just part of the software design anyway. But for now, we're just going to keep it easy. We're going to do a basic, header component similar to what we did in the last video, and I'll show you some good padding and padding rules to follow by, and then kind of also integrate, some other little content and what some other good padding rules. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do hello, and then I'm going to copy this. I'm actually going to embed this text into a VStack, and I'm going to say hello world here like this, and then I'm going to do font.size, and we're going to do, let's do 34.bold, and let's do a font.size here of, I keep doing that, dot size, fix, what, dot size, and we're going to do like 19. Okay, we got that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this frame to max width. My keyboard is terrible. Equals dot infinity. Okay, so now it stretches all the way across. I'm going to then command click this VStack, go into SwiftUI inspector. I'm just going to make this vertical alignment to the left. There's some pretty good natural spacing, so I think we're good there. And then last, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add a spacer. I'm going to add a spacer to this H stack. All right, so Here's the typical role. Almost forgot one more thing. I'm gonna add a let's do person.fill. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add this frame of a width of 40, height of 40. Give this a background color, color lit, and we're gonna make this like a cool. Let's make this like a hot pink. That's cool. Not like a purple. Sorry. Corner radius of 20. Then this person that fill is going to be a font, and that size of I'm going to do like 17, and it's going to have a foreground color of that white, so that looks cool. And then last but not least, we're going to add some shadow, color, and it's going to be color lit. It's going to be black. Get to that in a second. Radius of let's do 14, x0, y of 7. This is definitely going to do opacity of 02. So we have some cool little shadow in the background, and so this is cool. This is a cool header, but the issue here is, okay, it's too close to the sides, right? So what's a good rule? As a designer, I usually, at the very least, have a padding on each side of 20 from the sides here, so 20 pixels. At the most, I have 30 pixels. To me, when it comes to these types of titles, I personally like when there's a deeper padding. So I would probably use 30 here, and I'll show you why. To me, I think you're definitely going to put it on the horizontal stack. So as different devices are using this and are on different devices, it's still, it stays consistent because you have a max width and you're adding padding of 30. So I think this kind of looks a little better to me than 20. 20 kind of seems a little spaced out. I mean, I think maybe 25 might be perfect. It's kind of in the middle. So we'll stick with 25. And then, this header is going to be at the top of the screen, right? So what I'm going to do is to clean up our code here, I'm just going to extract subview. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to extract, I got to embed it into a VStack. Can't be the parent. So I'm going to extract subview. Where is it? Extract subview. And we're just going to name this header, okay? So we have our header component, right? So, I'm going to come in here now and create a basic card, right? Little basic card that we can style real quick. And I'm going to give you some examples of just some good spacing when it comes to creating this UI. Because I love padding. I think it's very important, especially when it comes to design. So I definitely want to spend a little bit more time on this episode than my last. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to create a little card. So for my studio, I'm just gonna create a card that's similar to what I created on our website that explains some of the projects that we've worked on. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just create an H stack first, and what I'm going to do in that H stack, I'm going to add a text, and this text is going to say what type of product did we build. So I'm going to say an app, and then I'm just going to add on this card just so we have some sort of cool symbol to balance everything out. Usually a logo would go here, but I don't feel like importing the asset, so I'm going to put a star. I'm going to see if a .fill, and then yeah, after that, that's cool. And then after that, I'm going to have a V stack that's going to sit underneath this H stack inside of this V stack. And it's going to give me a text. And this is going to say, who do I want to shout out here? Who do I want to shout out? Let's shout out my buddies over at Calvary. And then I'm going to have another text that explains what they do. Calvary is a creative agency that helps you find the specific creatives that you need for your company. Okay, something like that. So we have that, and then we'll just on top of this V stack, and then below this, I'll add another H stack, And you know what? We're gonna add a button, okay? And add a button, and this button is gonna say text get in touch. Or you know what? No, don't get in touch. View project. Okay, and actually this was a website slash portal. Okay, so look, we have all the content we want for our card, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this card to life, and I'm gonna design it while working with padding and how important padding is, because you're gonna see if you don't have the right padding, your elements on this card could look not that great, and you know it's just good to understand, you know, how to maybe design cards. Cards are just very in right now. Okay, so let's come in here, and I'm gonna add a spacer. I definitely want to space these elements out, and to start, I'm just gonna add a I'm actually not even gonna add a padding to this H stack. I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna comment this and say top card. This is middle card, and this is gonna be bottom card, so that we kind of can stay organized and understand everything, right? So let's Control I, add some spacing here, get this looking neat. All right, and then what I'm going to do is come to this VStack here, and I'm just going to add a padding of horizontal. Let's just do 30. We want to match the header, right? So everything, oh, it's not 30, it's 25. We want to match everything up with this, right? This is something that's very important. So we don't want, you know, to not line everything up, right? So first and foremost, I'm going to definitely work on this. I'm going to make this a 16 dot bold, and it's going to be dot rounded. Okay, that's cool. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a frame, see how this looks, of width of 20, height of 20. You know what, make this, let's actually make this 30 by 30. And let's do a font size of, I always do this, that size. Oh my God. Size of, let's do 15, half of it, and then we're going to do corner radius 15, and then after is background, and we're going to do color lit, and I'm going to do like a really cool, yeah, that's cool, pink. That system. Okay, I'm going to get rid of you. Oh, there we go. This should work. Cool. And then a foreground, that white. All right. And let's actually make this like 12. Cool. So we got that. And then, yeah, I like the way that looks. That's cool. So we got our top style stuff down. Now what we're going to do is going to move to the middle of the card, right? Now we didn't really need to work with much spacing there, but we will have to work with spacing here. Okay. So I'm actually going to create a frame. I'm actually going to first create how big I want this. This is going to be 34 dot rounded dot bold. Oh, 4. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do font, same thing, size, and we're going to do a size of 17 dot medium dot rounded. Okay, so we got that. Next, I'm definitely going to want to show SwiftUI instructor, align left. And what we're going to do here is that see if this max width dot infinity. See, it spaces it out. It does. Okay. So what we can do, since it's not lining up correctly, very simple. We can just embed it into a horizontal stack, come in here and add a spacer, okay? And as you can see now, it's being lined up, okay? So this is still too close. Actually, so before I start on finishing that, I definitely want to fold this. We're definitely going to want to add a background image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like a dark, I'm going to make it like a dark pink. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to other. This is fun, guys. I love kind of teaching this aspect of just how important padding is and designing in general. So I'm definitely gonna bring this maybe down to like here. See what this looks like. You know what I like? Actually, what I like is copy this, copy, and let's actually make it this color. Make it bright, right? Make it blend in. Open the VStack and add the image. Make that dark. That looks a little better to me. And we can do one of these, play around with it. Okay. Okay. Or let's see what this kind of looks like. Okay, that might look kind of cool. All right, so we got that, and then what we'll do is we'll come in here, we'll fold this again, and um, you can see like there, there's still some padding issues, right? There's still some, we have a background color, but it's not fulfilling the whole thing, right? So what we can do is come into this VStack. Actually, what we can do is we can fold this, and for now, yeah, this is what we can do. We can open this, and then we come into this H stack, and we can do a padding to the H stack inside of 10, right? There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. Give it some spacing. And then we can do a padding of top of 10. Okay, so add some spacing there, okay? And then what we can also do is this VStack right here. We come in here and we come to the text, and we're gonna do a and you know what? Just to make this even cooler, I think I'm gonna make this like a 48. Yeah, I like this. Let it cavalry agency. And I'm actually gonna make this all caps. I like that. See, I like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and add a padding of leading to 10. Bump that out so it matches up right perfectly with the website. And then we're going to come in here. We're going to do a padding dot bottom. And let's do 5. Space that down a little. Okay. That's cool. Come in here, do the same thing, padding dot horizontal. I'm actually going to do 10 because this is longer, so you're going to want to compress it more, right? And then we're going to do a padding dot vertical of let's do 15. Okay, I like that. And you know what? Just to make things easier, we'll just make this 20 like this, and get rid of the 5. So we have that, and then last but not least, damn, see, I really don't like this pink. I kind of want to find something that matches the black. Not the black, but yeah, actually, yeah, I like this. I like this a little better. Can we make it like this light purple? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we'll do this, and then what we can do is we come down, we take this VStack, right? And another thing you can do is I want all the elements in here to be white, so that's very easy. All you need to do is come in here and do a foreground of dot white, and I'll pass everything inside here that's a text element to be white, and then that way I can remove this guy. clean up my code. Okay, and so now all we have to really do is, design this button, right? And we want this button dead in the center. So we're actually going to create a frame for this button, and it's going to be a width, oh my gosh, width of 200 and a height of 54. And then we're going to have a corner radius of 20. And we come in here, let's do a background, and let's do a color. Let's do like see what a green looks like. Let's do like a green like this. Maybe we need something like darker. Don't like that at all. So let's get like a really dark. See what this purple looks like. Perfect. And then we come in this H stack, and because we definitely, this H stack is just to make sure, this is always going to be in the middle. So I'm just going to add a max width of dot infinity to this, okay, just so it spreads out. And then you can see it spreads out to the very end of this V stack. And then I'm also going to add a dot padding of let's do vertical of 20. Okay, and actually I'm going to increase this to 20, and I'm going to increase this guy, this cavalry agency, to let's move these guys in more. This guy to 20, right? Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. And let's actually also do a padding dot top of 20. Make this a little longer. Cool. And then last but not least, I want to make sure that this font size, oh, just kidding. I'm going to add it to the view project here. Dot size system to make this 19. Dot bold. Make this bold so it stands out. And then I definitely want to add a shadow, and we're going to make this pop a little. Color lit, and let's make this a black. Dot opacity 0.4. See what that looks like. Radius of 20. X is 0, and Y is 10. And maybe it's like a 3.3. So now what we have here is, definitely a card. Yeah, I really like this, honestly, top 20. And then if we can add another padding here, bottom, oh my God, of 30. Okay, and then we'll come to this VStack and add a corner radius of, let's do 30. Oh, my fault. We need to add let's just do a frame of the width of this. So frame is max width is dot infinity. And what I actually want to do is get rid of this padding, and I'll explain why in a second. Let this take up the whole thing. Okay, so we have our corner radius down, right? And what I actually want to do is come in here and fold this and embed this into another VStack. I'm going to fold that, come in here, add the padding here. Now it's going to push it. There we go. So now it pushes it together, and we do need to add a way more, like we need a 30 ball right here. And to be honest, I think we need to bring them in 30 more. 30, 30. Make this, yeah. Let's just, yeah, that's cool. And come in here, make this 30. That looks like. Okay, and then last but not least, we need to add a shadow to this. So I'm gonna do a color, and then I'll get into the padding rules in a second. Just want to finish up the UI here. Dot opacity of 0.03, radius of 20, x 0, y 10, and this is going to be this background. Okay, what's 5 look like? So I like this little pink we got in the background. So this is looking really, in my opinion, this is looking really good, guys. We have a basic card and we have padding, right? So this padding, you know, let's come in here and let's fold this real quick, and let's actually command click this and extract subview. We're gonna call this extract subview. Oh my God, dude. Card. Okay, so we have our card, right? So the next thing is, great way, you can always space this out with using a spacer and then another spacer right here, and it should like kind of center it to the screen. My preview would work. You're going to see it pushes the header all the way up. We can add a padding to the top of this header of 30 if we want, so it brings it down. And then, we have pretty much a basic card layout, right? So this is cool. So we have, or you don't need the spacer for padding, right? What if you don't want to do that? Well, that's not a problem. What if you want the card near the top, near the header? Well, that to me is still a little too close, right? So you definitely want to come to the card and add a padding of dot top, and maybe you do like 50, right? It gives you that spacing. 20 is a little difficult. 20 works, but it's still a little, to me, I think in this UI, 50 works great. It kind of gives you that separation. Now, when it comes to elements on the card, right? Why did I pick the spacing that I did? Well, for one, this just looks easier to read to me, right? You could also, if you wanted to mess around, if you like this look better, I've seen this as well. You can come in here for the H stack, right in here. You can actually come to this button and you can add a spacer to this button to the right so that it lines up with, hold on, so it lines up with the horizontal, I think it's like 30. Yeah, so it lines up with the rest of the design, right? I mean, it's 25. Some people like this look, I mean, this looks fine. I like giving at least 20 to 30 pixels per element on, whether, just depends on like what direction I'm trying to space out, right? Like, this middle one, this bio, this description is going to have spacing all around. We want to condense, it's a lot of text. This, 20 to 30 pixel range, from the top, you want to do like, I like the 30 to 40 pixel range, gives us spacing, gives some breathing room. Definitely on the sides, 20 to 30 range. Like, try not to use random numbers like 14 or 8, or not 8, maybe like 3, just random numbers. Like, there is a science. There is a science to this stuff, where the human eye, it's just easier to read when you use the correct padding. So this was a brief overview of just H stacks, V stacks, frames, background, corner radius, shadows. And then on top of that, we really dove into padding, guys. We really dove into designing something and using padding. And that's something that is very passionate on my end, that I feel is huge in design, understanding spacing and where elements should go. So I hope this episode was very helpful for you. We will be doing another episode again. Stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and let me know what you think. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.